The 80s were a decade of great music, with big hits dropping almost every month. In 1980, the trend was especially strong, with each month showcasing a smash hit. Let's break down the best songs from 1980 by month. January. Rock With You, Michael Jackson. We begin this list with the king of pop, Michael Jackson. Rock With You was released in 1979 and hit the top of the charts in January of 1980. The song was only the beginning of a trend for Jackson, who would go on to dominate the pop genre throughout the decade. The album, Off the Wall, produced by the legendary Quincy Jones, made history with 4 top 10 hits from a single album. Many consider it to be the one that helped transform Michael Jackson into the king of pop, and as you listen to it now, you'll see why it resonates with so many today. February. Do That To Me One More Time, Captain and Tennille. From the king of pop to a beloved pop duo, Captain and Tennille had their heyday in the 1970s, and they made a successful comeback in 1980 with Do That To Me One More Time, their second #1 hit. The song, written by Toni Tennille, captured the mood of the period and resonated with many. What really made the song so special was how it fit the mood of the period. And yes, it was about people doing it to one another. It's said that Toni Tennille played it for Humphrey Bogart himself, who absolutely adored the song and thought it would be a hit. Here's looking at you, kid. You were right. Tennille had written the song for her husband, the Captain Daryl Dragon, and they were married for 3 decades, and their loving ballad remains a testament to their partnership. March. Crazy Little Thing Called Love by Queen. You're going to be hearing Queen multiple times on this list, and it all begins in March of 1980, when Crazy Little Thing Called Love came out and rocked the world. Though it was their final song from the 70s, it became their first #1 hit in the United States in March of 1980. Freddie Mercury wrote the song in a bathtub in around 10 minutes, inspired by legends like Elvis Presley. Despite not being proficient on guitar, he had managed to create the timeless hit. He was a character, but his song soared to the top of the charts, and it's not hard to understand why. April. Another Brick in the Wall Part 2, Pink Floyd.
All in all, you're just another brick in the wall.
Diving into a different style, Pink Floyd's Another Brick in the Wall had tackled the theme of corporal punishment and rigid schooling, a bold move for the times. This track, part of a 3-part series, was the only one to become a single that achieved immense success. The album, The Wall, which includes this track, is one of the best-selling albums of all time, selling 4 million copies. It also received a Grammy. May. Call Me Blondie. Blondie's Call Me had dominated the charts in May of 1980, staying at the top for 6 weeks straight. It was also the biggest hit of 1980, and Blondie's most successful single, thanks in part due to its inclusion in the movie American Gigolo. The song's unique and fast-paced beat had pushed Blondie's vocal range, requiring recording in parts due to its complex structure. The track speaks for itself, knowing how well that it did on the charts. June. Funky Town, Lips Incorporated. Disco was not dead in 1980, as evidenced by Lips Incorporated's Funky Town. There were still some people shaking and grooving in June of 1980, and this track, inspired by the group's desire to leave Minneapolis for New York City, became a global sensation, selling 8 million copies and keeping disco alive on all the dance floors worldwide. July. It's Still Rock and Roll to Me, Billy Joel. It's Still Rock and Roll to Me by Billy Joel was not just another song released. This one had a message. Joel critiqued the changing music industry, emphasizing the value of good music over fleeting trends. The track became his first #1 hit in the United States and earned him a Grammy for Best Male Rock Performance. August, Magic, Olivia Newton-John. This one may surprise you. Olivia Newton-John, known more as an actor than a singer, wrote the song Magic for the 1980 film Xanadu, and it became a major hit. Billboard had ranked it as one of the third most popular tracks of 1980, which is quite the feat for a film, and despite its unique plot, the song stood out and became a significant part of her musical legacy. September, Upside Down, Diana Ross. Diana Ross's Upside Down, the lead single from her 11th album, topped the charts both in the United States and internationally. Produced by Nile Rodgers and Bernard Edwards, the track showcased Ross's versatility, earning her a Grammy nomination. October, Another One Bites the Dust, Queen. Queen returned with Another One Bites the Dust, one of their most famous tracks to date. Written by bassist John Deacon, the song was encouraged by Michael Jackson, who had heard it live and suggested they release it as a single. It sold over 7 million copies, giving Queen their second #1 hit in the United States. November, Lady by Kenny Rogers. This year is nearing the end, and we have a particularly unique song to share with you. It's Lady, sung by the musical icon Kenny Rogers. It may have been sung by Kenny Rogers, but it was actually written by legendary musician Lionel Richie. Rogers himself said the idea would be to take the R&B style of Richie and throw in his country vibes to meet somewhere in pop. The song created a unique and successful blend that elevated both of the artists' careers. December, Just Like Starting Over, John Lennon. Just like starting over. We're ending this list on a somber note because the final track that hit #1 in 1980 was the last single that legendary musician John Lennon ever made. The song would be released just before his tragic death in the same month of that year, and the final single reflected his return to the music industry, resonating deeply with grief-stricken fans, making the #1 song in the country by the end of the year. And there you have it, a look at each month in 1980 and why each song dominated the charts when they were released. Were you surprised by how many of these all-time classics are part of this list? And which was your favorite? And what year would you like us to tackle next? Be sure to let me know in the comments below and subscribe to the channel so that you never miss out on these memories in the future. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.